Well, good morning. So this is my beginning of the year review day 3, and my review day 3 focuses on multiplication. So again, a simple skill. What I use it for is to teach them lattice multiplication and to teach them how to write a series of numbers. Because once they learn how to do that, um, math will just become a lot simpler for them. And so here are the 3 skills that I have for today. And so the skill codes for Get More Math are 30020 and 30013. This is a condensed skill since there's more than one skill code. And you can actually just type those in. So 30020. And you can type it in. It's this one right here. It's listed in the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade topics. The next one is skill code 30001. And again, we could type that in too. So 30001. And now we see it. This is actually even in a 7th grade skill here. And it's under integers and multiplication of integers, modeling multiplication of integers. And then the next one is another condensed skill, 30022 and 30014. And so those are the skills that I applied for their day 3. And now you'll actually watch my teaching that lesson to the students. Well, hello. So here we are for beginning of the year review day 3. You're going to need your notebook, your workbook, and a pencil. You're also going to need your dry erase marker and that dry erase paper that I put in your bag. So you're going to need just about everything that I set up for you guys. I will share my screen and see if we can actually start seeing some things. So we'll start with the textbook, and we're at review day 3. This is page S9, so you want to make sure you're on page S9. And we just want to talk about multiplication, and so this is all just multiplication today. We're just practicing multiplication over and over and over again. And I kind of want to show you a couple of things. So, all right. So one of the things I want you to recognize is that when we have two numbers and we don't have any mathematical sign in between them, like right here, we don't have a mathematical sign. We just have parentheses. It means to multiply. You're going to multiply 71 times 935, okay? So just want to make sure that you understand that, all right? So I wanted to go over the supplies that I sent with you. So I sent you your workbook and a notebook. This is for you to take notes on. So not so much with what we've been doing so far, because it's been pretty easy. But when we start talking about fractions, some of the rules about fractions, the rules about converting fractions and decimals and percentages, you're probably going to want to take notes. Then I also gave you a white paper here, and so with a dry erase marker, so that you could actually use this to do your math right here on the sheet. And I'm going to show you how we're actually going to use that right here. So while we do these problems, go ahead and get out your protector, and we'll just do those right on top of here. I'm going to go ahead and make this pretty big and just put it right here on top. And then we're actually going to just solve this problem. This is 51 times 283. It doesn't matter which one you put in the boxes. I just tend out of habit to always put the larger number on the top, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to. You could do it either way. And so realize we're just going to use this portion of that box, okay? And then we just do the same thing. We're going to multiply here. And notice that I've already divided your paper for you, okay? So 3 times 5 is 15. So I put the 1 in the tens and a 5 in the ones. 8 times 5 is 40. So I'll put 40 here. And then 2 times 5 is 10. Then I go into the next column. 3 times 1 is 3. 8 times 1 is 8. And 2 times 1 is 2. And now we're just going to draw across the diagonals. And so here we go. So here's the first diagonal right here. And the only number there is a 3. So that becomes a 3. The next diagonal is right here. So we're adding these numbers in the diagonal. 5 plus 0 plus 8. Well, that's 13. I'm going to put down the 3. And I'm going to carry a 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 2 more is 4. So 4 goes here. 4 plus 0 is 4. And then just the 1 is here. So I know this answer is 1, 4, 4, 3, 3. Okay? So again, this is an opportunity for you to practice doing this. And then we'll just erase this and we'll do another problem. So we'll just keep doing that exact same thing. So the next one, I think I have to move this over a little bit because I can't see the whole number. So this one is 7,118 times 8. So right here, the beginning of your book, you'll notice that there's a whole group of these little charts here for you to write a series of numbers. And that's what we're going to use to show you how you can use this skill to help you with some of your multiplication. So make sure you open up to the front of your book, and we're going to write our 8s right there. So for some of you, if you don't know your 8s, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how you can use this to your advantage, okay? So just take a moment and go ahead and fill this out by counting by 8s. Now, one of the things I want you to recognize is actually counting by 10s and taking away 2 is actually easier than counting by 8s, right? And we know that 10 minus 2 is 8. So if I just add 10 and then take away 2, it's the same as adding 8. So I'll add 10 to this, which is 18. Take away 2, that's 16. I'll add 10, which is 26. Take away 2, which is 24. I'll add 10, which is 34. Take away 2 is 32. I'll add 10, which is 42. Take away 2, which is 40. And then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my 5th one. It ends in a 0 or a 5, so it's probably right. Now here, it's just easier to add 8, right? Because I have a 0 here. And so 40 plus 8 is 48. And then I'll add 10, which is 58. Take away 2 is 56. Add 10, which is 66. Take away 2 is 64. Add 10, which is 74, take away 2 is 72. Add 10, which is 82, take away 2 is 80. And I should see 8 times 10 is 80, so this is going to be correct. So you're going to want to use this in the lattice multiplication problem that you start to do that. So if you don't know your 8s, they're right here. And so if we have 8 times 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 32. 8 times 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's 56. 8 times 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8 times 9 is 72. And that's how you'll use that. And so anytime you don't know any of our multiplication facts for any of the numbers you have to multiply, just create a series here really quick. You're probably going to use this a lot this year. You'll have it now for the rest of the school year to refer back to it whenever you need to. 8 times 8 is 64. We'll put a 6 in the 10s, a 4 in the 1s. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 8 is 8. And 8 times 7 is 56. Then we're just going to add in the diagonals. So in this first diagonal is a 4. 8 plus 6 is 14, so we carry the 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. 0 plus 6 is 6. And then there's a 5. So this answer becomes 56,944. And you can kind of see it, that's probably true, because you think about 8 times 7,000, that should be 56,000. So it's probably the correct answer. So that's one good way to kind of check. Is 935 times 71. I'm going to show you another little trick. A cool thing about this, you can actually multiply in any order you want. All right. So I know 1s are the easiest, so I'm just going to do those first. It doesn't matter which ones you do first because you don't do any adding until you're done with all of the multiplying. So it doesn't matter. And then I know 3 times 7 is 21. And 5 times 7 is 35. And 9 times 7 is 63. So again, you can add them, you can do the multiplication in any order you want. You can, I don't care if you do this one, then 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 this one. It don't matter to me as long as you don't do any adding till you're done with all the multiplying. And that's where the real magic with this is because it helps you focus on multiplying while you multiply, focus on adding when you're adding so you make fewer mistakes. So then we're going to just add along the diagonal. So in this diagonal, there's just a 5. We'll go to the next diagonal. In this one, there's a 5, a 0, and a 3. So that's 8. In the next diagonal, we have 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 9 is 13. So we'll put down the 3, carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6. And then that's just a 6 by itself. So we end up with this answer is 66,385. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is I'm going to move those out of the way. and we're going to look at the math that's underneath here. All right, so that's out of the way, and we see that we have some here. These are a little bit smaller, so we can do two different things. We can either go ahead and do the multiplication here where it's going to be pretty small, or we can do it on the larger one. You do it on the larger one. I'll do it on the smaller one. First thing you have to do is you have to divide each of your squares in half from the upper right-hand corner to the lower left. And of course, if you are using the sheet I provided for you, it's already separated. And so again, I did that for you to help make the math easier. It's right there ready for you to do math on. And if you're doing other kinds of math, just flip it over onto the back, okay? 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 7 is 49. And if you have to, you just add 7. So just add 7 to the next one. If you add 7 to this, you're going to get a 6 and a 5. If you add 7 to that, you're going to get a 3 and a 6. And if you add 7 to that, you're going to get a 0 and a 7. And you should end up with your number 1, 7 times 1, and then your 7 times 10 should be 70. So that should be easy for you to see. And then what we'll do is we'll just take these back over to the work where we were actually doing the math. Okay, so and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop that right here so we can see it. So here's our 7s to help us out, right? And so now we can use those 7s, 7 times 3, and then this is how we use it. 1, 2, 3. 7 times 3 is 21. So we put a 2 here and a 1 here. 7 times 2, 1, 2, 14. 7 times 2 again, 1, 2, 14. And you can do that with any of these. You can do that with your 4s. You can do it with your 8s. I would recommend that if there is a multiple that you don't know, if you don't know your 7s, write them down. If you don't know your 8s, write them down. You know better than anybody if you know them or not. And what will start happening is when I ask you, if you can't tell me, I'm going to ask you to write it down. So just make sure, you might as well do it right now. Just go ahead and write them in there. There's pages and pages of them ready for you to do your work. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8. And 4 times 2 is 8 again. If you don't know your 8s, the exact same thing. And so I'm just going to write them right here next to this. You could write it in the book, all right? So I'm going to want you to use those. I put them in the book expecting you to use them. I'll be really annoyed if I don't see you using them. So make sure that you do. Hey, then we're going to add in the diagonal. So again, we always just draw that diagonal just a little bit further here. And in this first diagonal, we just have the number 4. In the next one, we have 4 plus 1 is 5, and 5 plus 8 is 13. So we'll cross that out. We'll put down the 3. We'll carry a 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3, plus 8 is 11. Keep the 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. So I know that one becomes a 7. The next diagonal, we crossed it off, so we're going to carry 1. So even though I stopped, I saw I crossed it off, so I know to carry 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 0 is 5. 5 plus 6 is 11. So I cross it off. And then 1 plus 1 is 2. So I'll put down the 2. And again, when you do that, it gives you opportunity. If something happened and you got distracted, you go, uh-oh, I added that, but I didn't carry. I can see I carried 1. So I just carried 1 over here. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 4 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. And then the 2. So that I know that this answer is 272,734. And then we'll do this last one here. And again, first thing I want you to do is I want you to divide each of your squares from the upper right-hand corner to the lower left-hand corner. Of course, if you're using the sheet I just provided right here, you could do it on there. But since this is in your book, I want you to actually do this inside your book. Otherwise, if you do it on here, you're not going to ever see it again. And that's okay for these problems, but these you have to fill them all in. It's part of the work. And look at here, here's our 7s, and we need our 7s, and our 7s are right here. So 7 times 2, 1, 2, it's 14. 7 times 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 63. And 7 times 0, of course, is 0. In fact, I know all these are 0, so I'll just put them in. And then the rest of these are pretty easy. They're just ones. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 9 is 9. And 1 times 9 is 9. And again, doesn't matter what order I do them, because I do all my multiplying before I add. And then I have a 0 in this column. I have a 3 in this column. And this one is 6 plus 4, which is 10. 0 plus 9 is 9. And then those are all 0. So I'm going to put down the 9. And I crossed off 1, so I'll carry 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 9 is 13. So I'll put down the 3. I'll carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then that was a 0. So that becomes 33,930. Okay? And so that's how you're going to do your math. Now, the last problem that I want to do with you is problem number 1 on the addition. So you want to make sure you turn to that next page. We're going to do this addition. We'll save the other ones for class, although I might do the second one, but we'll see. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and do these. And again, we want to go just a tiny bit faster than that we did. Now, I'm going to change colors each time I go from the ones to the tens to the hundreds, just so you can easily see when I cross numbers off. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. Cross off the 6. 2 plus 0 is 2. Plus 0 is 2. Plus 5 is 7. Plus 2 is 9. So I'm going to go ahead and write a 9. I'm going to carry, one time I crossed off, so I'm going to carry a 1. Next, I'm going to do 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 1 is 4. Plus 9 is 13. Cross off the 9. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. Cross off the 4, keep the 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. So you notice how I'm going a little bit faster, and I'm carrying 2. Last one, 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. Cross off the 5. 3 plus 8 is 11. Cross off the 8. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 6 is 11. Cross off the 6. 1 plus 7 is 8. And then I'm going to carry 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to carry 3, and of course that's going into the thousands. So I just bring that right down, and that goes right there, okay? And so that's how we do that.